Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
It's so hot, you're going to think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not going to believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
Okay. Hello. Welcome in to we have the Nameless Show right now. It just doesn't quite work, does it, for the Audible, right? I'm trying to make sure my phone is off this, so if it rings, it won't come through the speakers. Been interesting things happening today here around ASN Studios, and we're glad to have you along here for some basketball talk. You know, one of the things that we pride ourselves on here at ASN is the fact that we don't just do football, we do basketball, we do baseball, baseball and softball. Well, I don't know how many shows we're going to be able to have for baseball and softball. That's a little bit different. Well, it's a whole lot of talking, but the information's not quite out there like it is for basketball and football. But we are coming off of the ASN Basketball Classic, which was great. We want to thank Clinton for hosting that. Man, what a great facility they have, and just great people that they have there at Clinton. It's awesome time there. We always have a good time when we go up to Clinton. Man, I'll tell you what, and they just said they gave us the menu for their concession stand and just said, hey, just have whatever, just do whatever, have whatever you want. So we do appreciate them for hosting. And man, so many people came. We had a ton of people there, and it was just fun. It was a good time. It's always a good time at ASN Basketball Classic, and hopefully we'll be able to do a football classic again this year. And just hoping for good things. You know what I mean? 2026, new year. We think that this is a great year for ASN. We have grown so much. Just looking, this is no lie. I think, what was it, 84 million? 84 million views in the last calendar year. And just on ASN High School alone, 25 million. So the last 3 months, we've had 25 million views on ASN High School. And if the Razorbacks will give us something on ASN, we'll have some more of those. So anyway, we'll talk a little Razorbacks today, along with the rankings and everything. And we might as well just get started with our rankings. What do you think about that? You know, rankings, especially in basketball, a little bit hard to come by, at least at this time. But the one thing that I always tell everybody that has a gripe about rankings is they take care of themselves. They always take care of themselves. So you've got the rankings up right now, or you do now. And looky here. They're not in front of our faces anymore. They're right here. It's got like a weatherman. We got the weatherman view here. And for our rankings, the boys and girls of Earl, and we haven't got the boys up, but the boys and girls of Earl, they sit at the top of our rankings right now. The Earl girls have won some consequential games. Now, I sit here and tell you how many and where, because I would go in and look at that. It's so much information. I promise you, it's overload. I promise you. I actually have been working on them rankings for about a week now.
For 3 days, trying to figure it out.
Right.
So much to take in.
And
So many teams to research.
absolutely.
So many good teams. That's the hard part. Narrowing down if you can is the ridiculous part of this.
Right.
Even more so than just doing the research to start with. Because the 1A is, both girls and boys are 15 teams deep. What's all good.
No, I think that's really true. 1A, 2A, 2A boys is really deep this year. 1A girls is pretty deep this year. The 2A girls, the top 7, we'll get to those in a minute. But the top 7 for 2A girls was, you could probably interchange most of those. it was hard to put together. But if you see our top 10 there, Earl, West Side, Greers Ferry, North Fork. You moved it on me, so I can't. Here, let me pull it up on mine. Anyway, um, Mark Tree, County Line, Viola, Wonderview, Taylor, Lafayette County, and Scranton. The Mark Tree girls made a big move in the NEA tournament this week. North Fork is a team that's always at the top of the heap, but really, when it comes down to state title contenders, I think you got to look at the top two, especially. We saw Westside Greers Ferry already. Yeah, 1A team that takes on all comers for sure. They haven't cared, and so anyway, we got Peyton Dunn in, by the way. He's a 1A man. And he says choose Arkansas, which the Pigpen Collective has changed from Pigpen Collective to choose Arkansas, and they do NIL deals across the state. So anyway, with the state colleges there, so make sure, hey, go check them out because man, this NIL thing is not going away. If you want your team to do well, make sure that you go and check out Choose Arkansas. We're definitely a supporter of Choose Arkansas here at ASN.
That's what we were to work on kind of.
And by the way, if you've got any comments, you want to talk about anything, we'll try to talk about it. I'll be honest with you, we're just now getting to know basketball. I will tell you, this show right now, number one, it'll get a name sometime soon, but we'll also learn more about these teams and about the players as we go forward. I know that Earl is really good. In fact, let me just pull them up while I've got a chance to. Earl has been the team. When I was looking at them, it was really hard to say. And even Westside Greers Ferry, who's had a good year, I really felt like Earl has kind of got the schedule and the wins right now to be able to say, hey, you're number one here. And I'll talk about them in just a second. Um, got a win over Nashville. I mean, that's the number one team in 4A. They've got a win over Conway. They got a win over Springdale Harbor. They got a win over Blytheville. I mean, this is a 1A team that's doing all this. Their only loss is to Bartlett. I believe that's out of Memphis. They've they've got win over Central, Forest City. That's a team right there that's one to watch. They're number 3 in 4A right now. They might need to be higher. I'm not totally sure. Um, you got wins over Dyersburg and Clarksville Christian out of Tennessee, over Hillcrest, Jasper. Beat Bergman by 2. That was a heck of a ball game. We had Bergman at our ASN Classic. Um, Houston, I'm not sure exactly what part of where Houston is. There's a Houston, Arkansas, but we don't have a school there. And then they play Maynard on Friday night, so they're in the conference. Got to look at that Mark Tree game on the Tuesday, a week from Tuesday tomorrow, as a big game. They're the number 1 versus number 4 team. But Earl really, again, I think they've got the schedule and the resume to say they're pretty much the best team, at least as of right now.
Follow closely by that West Side Greers Ferry team. It could just about go either way when you look at both players, right? But you got to give them out of everything.
But you also, I will tell you, and this will happen, and it does happen every year. You're going to have teams that are down the line that are going to get better and better and better and better. And by the time they get to state tournament, it's not going to be one that you're just going to walk over. There's very few state tournaments that you have a team that just walks over every other team. You look at, I guess in 22 when we did the 5A state tournament, Jonesboro was a team in 5A that did. Of course, they're 6A. I was going to say they're 7A. They are 7A in football. But anyway, Earl girls, big time. And let's talk about the boys right now. And let's go to the Earl boys, also number 1. That's always fun when you got a great boys and a great girls team. And Earl has got one. Teron Hurst is the name that comes to my mind with Earl. Blevins right there next to them. I think those two, kind of like what you're looking at in the girls, you got two that are right up there at the top. I know that Blevin plays Nevada tomorrow, I believe, maybe tonight. Um, that right there, I know that Nevada is really working. They want that game. They want that game pretty bad.
They're hungry for that.
So Blevins, big time team down there in Southwest Arkansas. Nevada's a really good team as well. Those two teams are going to battle it out. I think that they're going to be at the top of the heap when it comes to 1A basketball. But man, I'm going to tell you again, you're talking about 1A boys, a team that we have seen that has done really well this year. Bradford, they're all the way down at number 6. I think you could make an argument for Bradford at number 5. County Line, though, recently won a state championship. They're always in it. Coach Brunson over there, he does a fantastic job over there of keeping his boys in the mix. They're always in the mix over there.
Okay.
They're good. They're good. Lead Hill was another one. I mean, they're really good. 19-4 down at the 7th spot. Nevada has played one of the toughest schedules in the state of Arkansas. Their schedule has been brutal for 1A. I know they played Lake Hamilton. I know they've played Magnolia. Those are two teams that they've played just off the top of my head. Um, and I think they've got 7 losses, but a lot of that is due to scheduling. I think that team right there is going to have an opportunity to move up the rankings because they've played such a tough schedule. And like you said, there's probably 15 teams that you could rank there. Clarendon gets the nod right now, but I will tell you, folks, um, these rankings, I know there are spots that a lot of people will disagree with, and that's okay. They'll take care of themselves. They will. They'll take care of themselves for sure.
The good teams are going to keep winning if there's any pretenders in the top 15, 20 or so.
Well, even if they're not necessarily pretenders, you get into conference just like Blevins and Nevada are in the conference together. You know, um, they're going to play each other. They're going to play each other. I think this. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Taylor, Bradley, Emerson.
I believe that's right. Boy, look at you. Look at you. Only because Taylor's in it. That's why.
My big camp is literally split almost evenly between the two schools.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
My cousin who she played in Russia in 1958 for the U.S. women's team. She was a coach at Emerson for a while, and I have a cousin wants to call her.
Wow. Well, that's cool. You got a little history down there. I know you do. I know every time we go to South Arkansas, you're loading up the bus, ready to go. That's home, right? That is your home for sure. In fact, I'm now going in and looking at these conferences just so I can check in on what you just said because I think you're exactly right on that. Blevins, Kirby, Nevada, Mineral Springs, Mount Ida, Odin, and Umpire. Now, here's the thing about that conference right there. Mineral Springs and Mount Ida are the only two that actually play football. So I know that we talked a little bit. Uh, the other ones are probably just in the 8 there. Lafayette County, Taylor, Bearden, Hermitage, Jamerson. Yeah. And of course, some of that is one year they'll be in one. I mean, it just depends on how, you know, if 2A, if a couple teams move up to 2A, then you get movement and all that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's too close. And the schools are too far away down there.
Oh, yeah.
What's an hour from Magnolia to El Dorado? There's something only one school between that.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Nevada real quick because I told you they have a tough schedule here. They have already played Bradley, which you talked about, but they played D Queen. Let's see here. They played Morrilton. They played Dumas. They beat Dumas. I'm just talking about teams that are a class or two ahead of them. They have lost to Hamburg. They've lost at Kirby the other day. They lost to Lake Hamilton, Sylvan Hills, and Magnolia. So,
That ain't nothing to sneeze at.
right, that they have 7 losses, but 3 of them were against the last 3 games they played, which was a holiday tournament. at Lake Hamilton, and they played Lake Hamilton with 11, Sylvan Hills within 15, and Magnolia within 9. Oh, for a 1A school. So while they're ranked number 9 right now, I think that they've got a chance to move up the rankings there. All right, let's move on to 2A. Let me go in here. Oops, I don't want that on. Sorry. There we go. I thought it was muted. And again, if you got questions, they're saying mic is not on. 1 2 1 2. Okay. Maybe, yeah. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Well, I just heard it right there as I pulled it up. I don't know if you got it muted there, Chris. I don't know. Here, let me just check real quick. Yeah, look, you can hear. Oh, there it is right there. All right, Mike Skolarski, he's an Ozark guy. Man, Ozark was going to be in the top 10 in 4A, and they've dropped a few lately, which, I mean, I think Ozark's a good team. We'll talk about 4A in a minute. Okay, Mike says it's on. Mike knows the mic's on. I appreciate him. Poe and Sloan Hendricks, Riverside Quitman, Southside Dirks, Barton, Buffalo Island, Hampton, and Ouachita. Poen is undefeated. The Barrett girl, Kennedy Barrett, is a teen. She's the one to watch. She's a sophomore, one of the best players in the state of Arkansas. I'll tell you that right now. She is. I think she may be D1. Oh, the guy with the beard is hard to hear. That's what they're saying. I don't know. It looked there you go. There you go. Um, now I know that what you got a name. What do you mean? Oh, Justin. Yeah. Well, we have to introduce ourselves. Not everybody knows us, you know. Um, Poen to me right now, being undefeated, I think that was a pretty easy thing to call them number one. Sloan Hendricks and Riverside have played each other. They split. I had some people saying, "Hey, Riverside did this and Sloan did that," but even though they've split, and of course they said, well, one was on a neutral court and one was at home and all that. It's very hard to keep up with that. You got to remember one thing. Justin, your mic is low. There you go, Mike Sklarski. Is that better, Mike? Well, you got to also remember they're a little bit behind us too. Um. Anyway, you got to remember one thing with these rankings, and again, they'll take care of themselves. But it's hard to know everything about every team because I can't go and I mean, you're talking about ranking almost 120 teams. Let me say that again, just for the people in the back. Almost 120 teams that we're ranking throughout the state of Arkansas. So, hey, Chris, there you go. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. It is a big task. It really is a big task to keep up with all of them. Now, what we have is a baseline that we can go from. And some of these schools, again, that may not be ranked will end up getting ranked inevitably. But one of the things that will happen is there's going to be somebody that's going to come out of nowhere. I don't care what class it is. There'll be a team that's been ranked either low, 8, 9, 10, or not ranked at all that will come out of nowhere, and they'll just because they get hot at the right time. And that's where it's at. But I'm going to tell you, draw a line. Let me see here. That top 7, I'm telling you right there in 2A, you can pretty much put that in just about any order. You'd probably be right. Pretty close to it.
We've seen a bunch of Dirks girls this year. They've been on a pretty good tear. So it's literally all those teams just about are just good enough to be there.
Right.
Let's see what it looks for.
Anyway, let's go to 2A boys. Barton and Hector at the top, East Poinsett County. Again, I think you can take those top 4 and you could probably put those in any order. Real close. I was real close to ranking Hector number 1. They're undefeated right now. They had a big win against Ozark, and that's a good win. Ozark's a good team. They didn't make our top 10. but they're a good team, a really good team. I'm going to tell you right now that group, and I don't want to get too far into it, but that group between Dardanelle, Ozark, and Pottsville on that boys' side is going to be a fun watch. I promise you. And there's going to be a really good team come out of the conference as a three in that regional, a really good team. So that'll be something to watch on this side. But Barton is Barton. They're really good. I looked at their schedule. Let me give you their schedule real quick. You know, the big thing about it when we're looking at rankings, um, it's you just have to look at how some have done against this one and how some have done against that one. But again, you're talking about ranking almost. I think it's 112 teams is what it ends up being. You got 10. We went down to 6 on 6A because you get to a point with 6A that if you have even 8 teams lose and they don't drop out of the rankings because they've beaten those other teams that are down there a little bit lower so bad. But when I looked at Barton at 14-3, their losses to Hot Springs, Southwind out of Tennessee, and then Collierville, Tennessee. That's the only losses they have. You look at their wins over Brinkley, Augusta, Raymond, I assume out of Tennessee, Pulaski Academy, they beat by 30. Right? Yeah, Pulaski Academy's right. Southside B Branch, Lakeside, Hazen, Carlisle, Desart, McCrory. Some of those are just wins that they should get. They beat England on December the 5th. They beat Forest City. Forest City's a 4A school. They beat them, beat Clarendon in the first. So I felt like that their resume to me looked the best of all of them. But Hector has a good resume too, especially with the. I looked at the wins over Rosebud, 2 wins over Rosebud at Rosebud, both by 20 plus points. Those are really good wins. And the win at home against Ozark, that was big win there for them against the Ozark Hillbillies. So
So many kids that are 6'3", 6'4", almost 7 foot wingspan.
they are long.
Don Winston, oh, he's having a heck of a season.
So I know he's 6'3", 6'4". The Mulder kid there is 6'5", 6'6". I'm telling you, they grow them tall out at Hector. They really do. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Team that probably not talking about enough. England. I'll also tell you that Mount Vernon, Enola, and White County Central, both those in the same conference. They're both really good teams. We saw White County in the White County tournament. They're a very good team. Beat Bradford. I thought I was very impressed with Bradford when we saw them. And I know that they've split matchups this year between them and Bradford. But Mount Vernon and Nola was a team that I had a little bit of trouble. I thought we might need to move them up. Again, one of those things, rankings will take care of themselves. If you don't mind right now, if you're liking what you see here, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, or go over to our YouTube and subscribe to us there. Rounding out Junction City and Hampton, both those teams are good too. I mean, I'm telling you, 2A boys is deep this year. It's probably as deep as it's ever been, at least in a long time. I think you've got several that can really do well. And
5, 10 more down there that could make a good run.
yeah, yeah.
Get off the right time and start beating some teams and stuff now.
Well, let's look and see if we can come up with a few names that might not be mentioned. Tuckerman's one of them. They could possibly. Tuckerman's always one of those teams that comes out. Bay's 13-10 right now, but Bay is always a team to mention when it comes to that. Mountainburg is 13-4 right now. They're I think probably a little better than they've been in a while. They'll definitely probably be the most challenged to Hector. Conway Christians is 6-6 right now, but I think they'll probably be all right. Also, St. Joseph, Conway St. Joseph is always a tough team. Mariana Lee is another one that at 7-4 right now. I think that they're definitely a team. That's another thing is that there was like Foreman right now, 7-0 right now. We didn't even rank them because they don't have enough. Exactly. Woodlawn is 12-4. Poen is 9-1. Washita's 14-6. They're all in the same conference. with Junction City and Hampton. So you get to a point here sometimes, not all the time, but sometime. Mike says your mic's not working again.
I can hear myself just fine.
Maybe I'm talking too much.
Brad's talking. I'll crank myself up some more.
Let's see, Mike. Let us know if it's working.
If I ain't changed nothing.
Anyway, sometimes you get to a point where your teams there's so many teams that you can't rank them all, and that I do think the 2A boys right now. I think the regional tournaments in the 2A are going to be something. They're going to be something. All right, let's move on to 3A right now. By the way, having that in the background instead of in front of our faces is so much better. So much better.
That's right. Yeah, they don't want that.
3A girls, I think, again, take that top four, arrange it how you want to. Melbourne right now is at 16-1, I think. Greenland is a team that we haven't talked a lot about Greenland in a long time in basketball. Oh, Mike says still not working. Maybe we need to just another headset is in there and one of those. I don't know. It's showing the is it
Sign it off.
not on one? It usually works out of three. Let me see here. There's well, you sound low, but I don't know if you're coming through my mic.
Strange.
Here, try this. See if you're working through mine.
Can everybody hear me now? This is very unusual for us.
Not working, so working. Joanne's here. Well, I'm hearing. I'm hearing.
Ah, yeah. This one's not coming through. Even though it shows to be coming through, I don't know. Uh, here, hold on. It's obviously coming through the board. Wait, let me try this, Jess. There we go. How about that right there? Is that?
There we go.
Yeah, I think it. I think it's. Yeah, it looks like it may be one. Yeah. How about that now? Are
Check.
you hearing me okay? I mean, it does seem like it's coming through on our end now.
Yeah, there we go.
So I'm on four, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think we got it.
That's annoying.
Yeah, that ain't no good at all. I think I've still got time to send. I think I need to send this one back.
Yeah, this board it's a great board, but it's giving us nothing but trouble.
Okay, now I'm tired of hearing myself talk twice here.
Alrighty. Sorry about that, folks.
Yep.
It literally was coming through saying, "Hey, it's working on our board just fine," and then
Yeah, I'm not sure. It shows that it's coming through one, but it's not. But anyway, here we are. Um. Anyway, Melbourne, Greenland, Mountain View, Dover, Bergman, Dumas, Manila, Bald Knob, Charleston, Baptist Prep. Again, very deep field there. Charleston comes in at
the only odd thing is not seeing Salem right there or Lamar.
right,
That's
right,
that's the only odd thing about the top 10 and 3 of girls right now that I'm seeing.
right. Yeah, you're right. And well, let's talk about that right there while you're at it. The girls' conference that is the 3A2. We talked about this last year. The 3A2. And I believe that's who it is. Let me check that real quick. The numbers change from football too, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Like 4A has 4A5 north and south.
We lost Facebook.
Did we?
Yeah. Somehow.
You know how it gets sometimes with Facebook. It doesn't like it sometimes.
Yeah.
Lord, we're having enough technical difficulties, right?
My goodness. Well, YouTube's still up. Let me
Well, looks like I got 19 watching right now, or well, Goodness
There's no
gracious.
streaming software connected.
Huh. Yeah, it's gone. Facebook is gone. Here, I'll tell you what, let's get the YouTube link out there. I'll get that out there real quick for you. I don't know what it is about this internet, but it does not like Facebook for some reason. That's really weird. Sorry that you that are watching right now. We're having a few technical difficulties trying to work through them here. But what we will do, we'll get this YouTube link out there, and then I guess Justin will work on trying to maybe get it back out there if we can. A lot of times it just takes time to do that.
Yeah, I'm almost done as it is.
Yeah, let's see here.
Really annoying for everybody involved.
Right, we're sorry about that. Let me look here. I'm gonna get you. Sorry, I'm getting this out here real quick. All right.
Already back up.
Already back up. Well, there you go. Sorry about that. I don't know. Sometimes, man. Sometimes.
Yeah, that was really annoying. Sorry, Facebook just decided to drop our stream entirely out of nowhere.
All right. I forgot where I was going with that. I was looking at 3A girls standing. 3A2.
I'm talking about Lamar and Salem.
So the 3A2 is, and it is 3A2. You got Melbourne, number 1. You got Mountain View, number 3. You got Bergman, number 5. Valley is not ranked, but they're still very good. Salem is not ranked, and they're still very good. There's going to be a team that won't make the regional tournament out of that conference that could make state,
which is nuts.
Out of so many other conferences. I mean, that one is really tough. And last year, Salem and Valley Springs played in the 4-5 game. Salem ended up winning that ball game. I think Valley Springs was up 9 with like a minute and a half to go or something like
less
that.
than 2 minutes.
Yeah, and Salem ended up winning the ball game, and Valley stayed home. And Valley had 2 kids that signed Division II scholarships. They won 20 plus games and stayed home after the district tournament. That's how tough.
Wow.
And that's what's going to happen again this year. Somebody's going to stay home. But anyway, that 3A2 is very tough. Whoever comes out of that region is going to be tried and tested. That's for sure. With that one. So anyway, let me see here. Let me go to our rankings here. Let's go to the boys.
This will be fun.
3A boys. This one, Subiaco and Osceola, that was 2 teams that I really had trouble with trying to figure out where to rank those 2. Who was going to be 1 and who was going to be 2. Eventually, I just went with Subiaco as the 1. But I'm going to tell you, defending state champions is they're really good. Losses in Tennessee, Memphis teams, pretty good teams. Pretty good teams too at the top there. Bergman, we saw them. I think Bergman's a little better than I thought when we saw them against Jesseville. What they have 70 something, 72, 70, but they could have had a lot more that day. Newport as a team has come out of nowhere. Newport last year I think lost almost every game. And right now they're 15-1. Their only loss is to Osceola.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a turnaround.
And I think that was Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Lamar's still very athletic. I think Lamar will be a problem when it comes to tournament time. I think they're still trying to get it together a little bit.
Yeah, they're not. They haven't gelled entirely yet, but they will. They're trying to figure out what they are without Ben Noonan.
Yeah, of course they also lost. Oh my gosh, the point guard who's very good as well. I can't believe I forgot his name.
Don't give me a
I
line.
could sit here and look. I could see him in my eye right now, just closing my eyes. Anyway, tough kid there. And then Krotz is just now coming back. I don't
Yep.
think he even started
Mm-mm.
for him, which eventually he's going to start. Mike says that Lamar has a great team this year. They're pretty good. They've been good for the last 3 years, really good for the last 3 years. I mean, high level team. They're made state semifinals the last 2 years. Well, we did state 3 years in a row. Yeah, they've actually made it semis 3 years in a row, I
Yeah.
think.
2 or 3.
Riverview and Drew Central. I know that Drew Central had beaten Riverview, but there were some wins that I liked for Riverview. That there was a loss there that I didn't like for Drew Central as much. But again, it's one of those things they'll take care of themselves. Jordan Nicholson, player of the game, Riverview over Bergman. And see, Riverview has beaten Bergman, but again, it's very hard to like. Well, this one beat this one, and this one beat this one. Well, Bergman probably won a game in there that we would have liked better. But we'll get it. Mr. Legacy in there. He did a good job for us over at the state tournament with highlights there. Appreciate you, man. And then he was also an advertiser for us. Newport is junior and sophomore heavy, going to be good this year and next year. We got an article up on our Facebook page right now that talks about the turnaround that they've had. So big time for Newport right now. I think Newport is a contender. I really do. Um,
That'd be a sight to see with that
West
just 1 year
Fork.
turnaround. It'd be awesome.
West Fork really improved this year. Really improved this year. Right now in the 3A1, they're 14-4. Overall, Providence and Elkins. We're used to seeing Elkins. Greenland's 9-6. I think that's probably your top four there, with Providence Academy, Elkins, and Greenland. Elkins always plays a tough schedule. I think that 8-7 might be a little bit
Yeah.
deceiving. I think they'll end up being better than that. But man, we've got a lot better number right now. Anyway, right now that's covering the 3A boys. Let me throw a couple of names in here that we could probably rank. Mountain View wasn't a bad team. They weren't a bad team at all.
No.
Let's see here. Manila, even though it's 6-10, Manila's 3-1 in their conference, so they're going to be a tough out. Lamar, Paris is
Yeah,
one right
Paris is
there.
going to be good this year, too.
So Paris went to the Bank of the Ozarks tournament and won, and they beat Ozark in the final.
Both girls and boys.
Both girls and boys. That was two really good wins for Paris.
Paris girls got a girl. She's as tall as that girl from Mansfield.
Right.
My goodness.
And Riley Potts, 45 and 23.
Yeah.
45 and 23. By the way, next week we'll start this back just like we do for football. We'll have a vote for Player of the Week for both boys and girls, and we'll start that next week. So it's just now kind of rounding into form. Basketball, everybody gets in the mood for basketball once football is over, right? And so these Christmas tournaments is when everything kind of hits for basketball.
It's been a busy 3 weeks for me.
Right?
Just lots of basketball games.
It definitely has been busy. All right, so looking at 3A there, I'm trying to find some others that we could mention here real quick. Lavaca is a team that won state in 2A not too long ago. Jessieville, I think when they get pre-cop back, they're going to be a better team. They're 4-1 in the conference right now.
Yeah, they played pretty well the other night. Even they
Right.
lost though, didn't they?
They did,
Yeah,
but they were without their best player.
Yeah.
Rosebud's at 10. Lease Academy North is always in the mix there. Genoa 7-1, just like Foreman. Don't have enough info on Genoa right now. We're trying to look at them. And then McGee 4-8 right now, but that number will come up. Doom is 7-7. That's a little bit surprising right now in 3A. So let's move on to 4A real quick.
4A girls. Not many surprises here.
No, not many surprises there. Nashville, Pulaski Academy, Forest City. I think those three are definitely your top three there. Again, probably one of those that you could probably place them in any order. I think Heber Springs comes in. They're going to play Robinson. Melbourne will make a comeback. Kim Caraway. All right. Now, I did see Melbourne won a big game. Kim, who was that they beat the other night? Anyway, Robinson and Heber Springs, I think they play either tonight or tomorrow. DeQueen. Grayson, we already talked to a man. It's back it up just a little bit.
No, he had to go to the video right before this one. We had
yes.
our podcast had just shut off on Facebook at 30
Yep.
minutes.
Yep. So
the
there
one
you
right
go.
before us, we talked to A to start with.
It's all
Or-
there, Grayson.
yeah.
We talked Hector. We
Yeah,
did. I
yeah,
promise.
we did, buddy.
Morrilton and Warren. Morrilton, I think they're a little bit more established. Warren's got a great record right now, like 16-1 right now. We're trying to figure out how are they for real though
Yeah.
down there in the 4A8. P Ridge, they're a team that is going to be tough. And Southside Charter, they were with us in the ASN Basketball Classic. I like them.
they're good.
They're pretty good. I think they could move up the charts. Their big win over Bergman the other night. That was a back and forth ball game there between those two. All right, let's go on to the 4A boys. Well, let me look at while you're doing that. Let me look at some girls team in the 4A that I could maybe mention as well.
Once we get halfway through conference season, Pottsville's going to be up there a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll get the top 10 because the 4A
Pottsville
is deep.
is definitely one. Shiloh Christian's another one that we could probably mention. Those Northeast Arkansas teams, they always play tough schedules. The records aren't going to be as good, but then they come out and they're tough. Mina's 13-2 right now. Interesting to find out what they are. I know that they haven't played the toughest of schedules. Now we're still talking girls, by the way, even though we got boys up there. That 4A5 North, Heber, Robinson, PA, Morrilton.
Heber's going to have a great year.
That's a tough conference there. Mills Bauxite. Bauxite's 10-5 right now. Not bad.
We got a copyright struck on the first video.
How?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
We hadn't even played any music. They're probably so used to doing it. They just do it. I think that's pretty much it for the 4A girls. D Queen's defending state champion. Magnolia's not in our top our top 10. So yeah, you probably mentioned them. In fact, we ran into this last year with them. Magnolia, Arkadelphia, and Camden Fairview. All of those, somebody's not going to make the regional tournament out of that. Warren 16-1, Watson Chapel 11-5. I think that's probably the two that you can name there in that conference. So anyway, let's talk about boys now. Mills has not got the greatest record right now, but if you look at their losses, good Lord, the teams that they've played, they're unreal. That schedule. And then if you got a chance to see them over there at the Hoops for Hunger tournament,
they were good.
They're very, very good.
Yeah, they're looking for a repeat.
Hall is right there with them, I think. Nashville is an intriguing team. They're undefeated still. They've got some good wins. I know one of those wins is over a El Dorado team that, you can't ignore when a team goes up into classification and wins games. You just can't ignore that. So
not at all.
They're 10-0. I'm going to pull their schedule up real quick. I had somebody say Nashville over us. It was crazy. I won't say who us is because then you'll know who you got it from. But again, there was some Lake Hamilton. That's a good win. They won at Monticello. They beaten Kirby. Kirby's a top 10 team in 1A. They beat El Dorado. Fountain Lake is another solid win. Star City is another solid win. There are some pretty good wins in that top 10. That's why they were up there at 3. I'll be honest with you. I had a hard time not ranking them number 1. And I know that people will be like, what? Right now, with their wins and being undefeated, I had a hard time not ranking them number 1.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let me go back here. I'm doing this for myself just so I have it. Let's see here. East M. So that was another confusing thing. East M sits at 22-4 right now.
Good Lord.
They have played 26 ball games. But from my understanding, and this is part of the problem with basketball, my understanding is JV games are listed on their scorebook live. So how am I supposed to get an accurate read? I don't even know what their varsity record is after I found out that they were 22-4 with JV included. I don't know. So how am I supposed to get an accurate read? I know the Democrat Gazette at one point had Eastham as number one team in 4A. Maybe they are.
JV has never counted.
Well, I'm just saying they're listed.
Yeah, I know, but why? Who's listing JV games besides Eastham?
I don't know. No, but that's the problem with basketball right there. The information is not the same across the board.
No, not at all.
That's the thing. Robinson is a very solid team, and we didn't even mention Brooklyn. Brooklyn won the Division One of the NEA tournament. They're solid, very very solid, always good there. Shallow Christian is a team I don't know if anybody's talking about right now, but Shallow sits at like 14-3 right now.
They don't like me there. I'm a homer.
This is true. I mean, I find no lies detected.
No,
in
not
that
at all.
statement.
Not at all.
But let me give you who Shallow has played. I looked them up. Shallow got throttled by Bentonville West pretty good. They got throttled by Little Rock Christian pretty good. Got throttled by Farmington pretty good. But they beat a good Alma team.
Yeah, I'm a
70-65. They've beaten Elkins. They've beaten Rogers Heritage. They've beaten Flippin. They lost to Mountain Home by 2. Mountain Home's not a bad team.
No.
Beat Fountain Lake, who I think is good. They beat Clinton, who's a solid team. They beat Fort Smith Northside. They've beaten Gravette, Berryville in their conference. And then I don't know some of these teams, Northview Academy, Oliver Springs, and Summertown. I don't know anything, but they beat all 3 of those. Those were out of state. They play Prairie Grove.
That's probably Missouri or Oklahoma.
They play at Prairie Grove on Tuesday. That's going to be an interesting one because Prairie Grove is also improved there in the 4A. So very good schedule coming up for them as well. Let's see here. Pottsville. So we got Pottsville in the top 10. Again, Pottsville, Ozark, Dardanelle in the 4A4.
Yeah.
There's going to be a team that comes out of that's going to be very good. I'm going to tell you, that top region, that north region, sets up to be a good region this year.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Regional's
going to be a lot of good basketball.
Right. You got Prairie Grove. You got Shiloh. Let me look here real quick with their standings.
Thank God, not Farmington.
Right. Pea Ridge is apparently very sophomore and junior laden, and they're decent. So Huntsville's also there at 9-8. I know they're always solid. They're always scrappy. They're 7-1 at home, 2-7 on the road.
Man.
So it's definitely a difference getting them there. You're also going to have to go up to Northwest Arkansas for regional this year because it was at Dardanelle last year. So that's also a different situation as well when you're playing against or playing at other places there. Let's take a quick break, real quick, and then we're going to come right back. Give us 30 seconds.
Bill Harshaw. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Where's he at?
He's on YouTube.
YouTube, the tube.
Speaking of Bill, hey buddy, we need we got to come up with some new graphics for this Nameless Basketball Show.
We'll get it here.
Yeah, we literally just thought of that. Not really. We just come up with a name for these things. My goodness, I'm not that creative.
Blytheville and Magnolia round out the top 10 there in the 4A. And again, I was talking about Pottsville, Dardanelle, and Ozark. I, those three teams right there, they're all top 10 worthy. There's also some teams that are out there right now. Again, that you could mention. That I'm telling you, 4A is one of those 4A boys, especially very deep
Yeah,
this year.
Darnell doesn't have Broad Chatting back yet, so
Darnell, man, I'm going to tell you, you got to give it up to Coach Sturdivant over there. He does a fantastic job with those
he's a
guys.
good coach.
I mean, there are years you think, well, Dardanell's not going to be that good this year, and
Shoot.
then all of a sudden, here they are. They're always good. They're always well coached. They always play hard. Um, let's see
A little
here.
dirty. No, I'm
More
just kidding. No, they
Morrilton
don't.
is a team that we haven't mentioned. They're
Yeah, not at
always
all.
good. Central Arkansas Christian, Pulaski Academy at 8-3 right now. You saw Pulaski Academy; they're good.
Yeah, they're a good ball
Malvern's one of
team.
those teams that we don't have enough info on. They're 9-1 right now. Got to have more info on them. They play in the conference with East M, Hall, Fountain Lake, and Mills. And
That's
I mean,
brutal.
Bauxite is sitting at 7-10 right now. I don't know how many. Well, they haven't played any conference games, but man, when you look at that group right there, out of the 6 teams, 2 of those teams are not going to make it to regional. That's going to be
Yeah.
tough. Let's see here: Truman, Wynn, Lone Oak, Stuttgart, Southside. Four cities 4-11. That's a little bit surprising. Sorry, I had to make a little change there in the meeting I had. Hope. Here's one that you don't have a lot of info on. 2-0 right now is Hope.
What?
2-0.
They've only played 2 basketball
Two
games?
and
That's
zero.
nuts.
And Magnolia is 8-6. So I went and looked at Magnolia's schedule. They've played a tough schedule as
Yeah, they
well.
have.
They're always in it. Star City is also a team that is probably right there on that cusp
Yeah, they
of
got a pretty good
yeah,
coach down there, Jake Lee.
yeah. So anyway, very yeah. Well, he's an assistant.
Yeah, I know, but still, assistants help too.
Yeah.
It
Oh yeah. Right. For sure.
especially nowadays. I think assistant coaches in high school ball do more nowadays than they did when I was in school. I mean,
Right.
we didn't really have an assistant basketball coach when I was in school. It was just Coach Daly helping us.
Right.
It's
Well,
5A.
all right. Let's do 5A real quick.
5A girls.
So I like that top four.
Yeah.
Top four in 5A, really good. Lake Hamilton, I think, sets at like 14-1 right now. But I tell you what, Coach Blake Conley, love that guy down there at Lake Hamilton. Great dude, great coach. Coached up here at Hector at one point. From Hector, a long time back. Good guy, really good guy. Also, Greene County Tech sitting at 13-1 right now. Valonia sitting at 13-1 right now. This is a tough conference. 5A is really, really tough conference there. Of course, those names. Mountain Home is another one that's always there. Van Buren's not a bad team. Greenbrier, we saw them. Valley View. I mean, it's really tough. And then Little Rock Christian comes in at 10. They've got probably the best player in the state on their team. She just recently committed to Arkansas. Whitley, what is her last name there? You all right there? You
Yeah.
hanging in there?
I'm
Whitley Rogers there.
tough.
She 4-star player, and
Yeah,
they're
she's
the
really
number
good.
10 team in 5A. So
She's really good. And
number 34 prospect in the class, and just recently committed to Arkansas.
we also want to say that the 5A rankings are brought to you by Russellville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. You can't see it all
Right.
behind my chair here, but thanks to them for sponsoring
But
this.
at the top, of course, then you got Farmington, which is kind of well, right now they're the number 1 team overall.
They're just the standard. They have been for a little
And
while.
and I don't know if you've
My
been
goodness.
listening to Easton McCulloch and what she's doing, but Easton McCulloch she might be the best overall player in the state as a sophomore right now. She is
Yeah.
averaging right now about 35 points a game
That's ridiculous.
as a sophomore.
That's ridiculous.
She hit 56, which was a program record there.
56 Good
Yeah,
night.
yeah. She hit for 56. She's phenomenal. Probably going to be a 5-star prospect coming out in her junior
I
and
hope
senior
so. Hey,
years.
we saw two teams the other night that didn't break 56 together.
Right,
Now, granted, that was a great defensive game,
right.
but
Well, everything is. I mean, everything is what it is, But
yeah, that's just nuts putting up 56
a-
points. My goodness.
anyway, uh, let's move on to 5A boys real quick. If you got any suggestions for what we should call this show, let us know.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Really, I'm serious.
And, we're tapped out of ideas. Oh, there's 5A boys.
Farmington's still as good as they've been the last 2 years. Amanda, I think they might be better. They might be better.
Yeah, really. Honest to God, that's spectacular. The kind of numbers that girl's putting up.
4 victories over top 6 and 7A. You, well, we don't have a 7A, Zach, in basketball. You're talking about 6A, I assume. And then we're talking about girls or boys. Anyway, Little Rock Christian number 1 right now. I don't think that is totally clear cut. I think that they're I would say right now you consider them J.J. Andrews, Razorback commitment there, best player in the state, top 10 player in the country right now. Parkview comes in at number 2. They've come back up after being down for a long time. Marion at 3, Farmington at 4. Again, those top 4 I think are okay. 6A boys. Okay, gotcha. They're 3 right now, Zach. I feel like that's a pretty good spot for them. Do you agree on that?
Oh yeah, that's.
Well, I'm
I
talking to
mean,
Zach, but hey, if you agree too, that's great. Um, you got Green County Tech coming in at 5, and again, these are like they got really good records, like several good records in here. And I did see, Zach, that Jonesboro, they had beaten Jonesboro, Bentonville West. Yeah. I mean, they're good. They're good for sure. And again, one of these things is they'll definitely it'll figure it out. Will figure it out at one point or another who the best team is. That's the beautiful thing about basketball. It's a tournament led sport. So you get to figure it out. Teams on the court. Not always does the best team win though,
nope.
but it's fun. It's
Yeah, I
fun.
witnessed that a couple days ago.
With you talking about Russellville and Pottsville?
Yeah, that poorly called basketball game
Ooh,
that
easy
made
now, easy. We don't get into that.
you can.
No, we don't get into that. We'll let people sort that out.
Yeah, y'all can watch it. It's on Potchul Apache Athletics on YouTube and Facebook. Tell me what you think.
All right, let me look here real quick. Benton, Nettleton, Valonia. Valonia's like 13-1, 12-2, something like that. They're down at number 8. 5A is always tough, man. They're always
Yeah,
tough. Alma's a team that we saw. They're very good.
yeah, they are
They're a really
hard
good,
team, man.
solid bunch.
They rebound the ball real well. They shoot the ball real well. You can't give their shooters an inch, or they're gonna
Yeah,
just put you out of your misery.
puts you out of your misery. Van Buren's sitting at 11-5 right now. Siloam's at 11-4. All those teams could easily be ranked in there as well. And then let's see here. We got Benton's at 8-5 right now, but again, played a tough schedule. Sheridan is at 12-4. I think Sheridan and Benton play each other here pretty quickly, so they're going to be able to work that out pretty quick. We'll figure out who's there. We talked about everybody except who. No, John. We've talked about 3A. I think was that on the other one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we talked. It the other one is you got 2 streams right now that you got to go to. 2 Jonesboro, 2 Bentonville West, and Bryant. Yep. Hey, look, we're with you. Marion's very good. I have a hard time when I rank a team in the top 5 in a class. I have a hard time saying, well, they're overlooked. I mean, you're in the top 5 in a class, you're good, and you got a chance to work your way up to number 1 most likely. All right, let's move on to 6A real quick. Fort Smith Northside girls sitting at the top. They won the state championship last year. A team that's full of tradition there. North Little Rock and Fort Smith Northside, look like they could battle it out. But Bentonville West is sitting there right now with a good record. Jonesboro as well, both really good. Conway's not as good as they have been in the past. Usually Conway is the unequivocal number one team, at least at this time of year anyway.
Yeah.
I know that they've been upset in the state tournaments in times, but usually they're there. But right now, Fort Smith Northside, Coach Ricky Smith over there, been there a long time. I've wondered if people would mention him for the Arkansas Tech job that's coming open. Coach Dave Wilbers has already announced his retirement.
Which is just kind of crazy to think
Yeah.
about. He's been a staple there for so long.
Right. But anyway, so I'm wondering who's it going to be? And Ricky Smith is one. Could Daryl Fimple be a guy that Arkansas Tech looks at? Those are two that I've heard as possibilities. We'll see what happens there. To be honest with you, don't know a lot about these teams. These will be ones that we'll figure out as we go.
Yeah, we never get to see these teams. Or, at
Right.
least I've never seen. But I mean, Alma's the biggest school I've seen play this year. I don't think I've seen a 6A team at
Yeah.
all this year.
Well, let's move on to 6A boys real quick. Of course, the boys, you've got your top two, Bryant, Jonesboro, Harbor is the third. I mean, Bryant and Jonesboro have been at the top now for a while in 6A, and Jonesboro, every year under Wes Swift, very very good group, and there's nothing that's changed on that. I feel like that they're always right there. Again, Bryant, defending state champions, right now seem to be at the top of the heap. But one of the things that you see in basketball, like if you take this group in football and you say, all right, this is the best in the highest classification, and then you play them against the next classification, they usually can't hang, right?
Yeah.
Well, now in basketball, it's totally different. Like you said, Marion, number 3 team in 5A, has got wins over Bryan and Jonesboro. Harbor comes in with a couple losses. Not very. They're right there. Rogers is also a team that's a little bit better than they have been. North Little Rock, you can't count them out in Bentonville West. They have been, especially the smaller school competition. They've been waxing the smaller school competition. So,
Yeah.
but again, all these things will work themselves out. They always do, and they will this time. But being the first show of the new year here, we want to say thanks for watching. We've went an hour. I'm going to cut it off. We'll talk Razorbacks tomorrow if you're
Yeah.
interested in talking Hogs. We'll talk to them tomorrow.
Got a lot to talk about with them. My gosh, they impressed me, that
Man,
Tennessee game.
if
They really did.
you're a Razorback fan right now, how can you not be optimistic? This might be the best chance that they've had to win the SEC in a long time.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that as a possibility, and just talk about what they got coming up. I was looking at their schedule; they've really got some good things happening. But anyway, all that being said, we are going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Like I said, we've been going an hour. This is also what basketball brings. There's more teams to talk about,
Bunch more.
bunch more, but as we go. But listen, thank you for joining us. Send us some suggestions on what you would like to see this show to be called.
Yeah, be fun.
We've threw out some ones. I'll tell you what, Chat GPT brought us. We've got the call, the read, the set, the switch, the action, chalk talk, which is probably more like the angle. By the way, if you haven't watched the angle, if you're a football fan, you need to watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah, Sean does a good job.
Inside the arc, I kind of like that one. Inside the arc.
That's decent. That's the first decent one I've ever heard at Chat GPT give us.
Above the rim IQ, that's not very good. The half court, the breakdown basketball, that's kind of whatever. The bounce, the hardwood, the baseline, kind of like the baseline. The paint, which I'm getting in with these shows that we're doing, the Audible, the Angle. We're getting into the show that we call the something, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to break away from that.
Look, I'm kind of fond of the Nameless Basketball Show, just to be
Yeah.
But let's roll with it and see what it does.
Anyway, guys, hey, thanks for joining us here. We do appreciate you joining us here on both Facebook and YouTube, even through our technical difficulties today. Try to get those worked out. We may have to send this board back off to what is it, Sweetwater. That what happened definitely should be working. Anyway, all that being said, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. We will talk some Razorback hoops tomorrow on its own show. So hang with us. See you tomorrow, right about the same time.